My name is Jason Aponte. It is time. Fantasy football championships. Everything that we worked for all year, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. This is a bittersweet moment too, right? A lot of pressure. Obviously, you want to win, but this is it. No more fantasy football after this. What the hell are we going to do with Sundays now? Watch regular football and not care about fantasy points?
Yes.
I guess. All right. Joined as always by Weston and Lou. Weston, what's up with you, bro?
Jason, happy New Year to you, man. I just want to come out and say that I'm not speaking to Lou right now, so all of my questions I'm going to direct to you, and you can feed them over to him. We are not on speaking terms. So happy New Year to you, Lou. Stick it where the sun don't shine, my friend.
Hi, Weston.
I love it. We're off to a rolling start. Lou, what's up with you, bro?
No, I actually love Fantasy Football Championship. I'm usually in them. I'm in 2 of 3 leagues this year.
Here we
and
go.
not only that, I look forward to watching football without having that anxiety of tallying up points. So I'm excited for today, just to end the madness.
Right. So we're all in championships this week. 1 to 10. How would you guys say you're feeling? Weston, I'll start with you.
6.5. I definitely have a tough matchup. No Lamar. I'm not facing Lamar, and I'm sure you talk about inactives. But the individual I'm going against, I finished 1 in the regular season. He finished 2. We had the same exact record. We were separated by 40 total points scored. Wow. So this is like what did Madden used to say? A slobber knocker. This is what that might be this week.
Boom. I love it. Lou, how you feeling?
I'm going to be more political here and like a politician and say more like 5.
Wow.
I was trying to avoid playing one team, and I did a good job by reducing the amount of points I was scoring so I would get a different seed. And it worked because I didn't want to play the 1 seed until the championship. I was hoping the 1 seed would get eliminated, maybe by luck or what have you. But it's me versus that 1 seed, and it's going to be tough, that one. So the other one I feel confident, though, in.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm in 1 redraft league, which is my home league, and then the rest of them are dynasty leagues. Those are going to be a little bit tougher, especially I lost Kirk Cousins to COVID in 1 Superflex league. And then I was just talking with you guys about what the hell do I do with Mike Evans at this point? We know when he's going to be on a snap count, but I've got to roll him at one of my flex spots because I'm not rolling Allen Robinson. But my home league is the one I'm really worried about. That's the big money league for me. And I am starting Trey Lance, and that's a good way to kind of segue. If you guys want to start sending in your questions and everything, let's get it. Let's get these championships. Let's check the chat real quick. Jesse, what's up, bro? Happy New Year, bro. Also, nice AI jersey. I told you I had one. Told you I had one. I didn't want to wear the other one. This is the one that Ray obviously kept asking about. So, Frank, Happy New Year, man. Sean, as always, aloha, buddy. Mr. Olite, let's go. Axel Munoz, happy Trey Lance Day to everybody. Let's have a day. Keith, Happy New Year. Good luck to everybody getting those fantasy chips. And Paul, let's go, boys. Let's get those championships. First question, let's go. Sean wants to know, Tyler Huntley or Derek Carr? We were literally just talking about this off of the air. Lou, you had a similar, not similar. You had a Huntley question, and it was Huntley or Trey Lance, and I didn't even blink, and I said it's Trey Lance. You're going to start Trey Lance this week.
Yeah, I'm actually starting Trey Lance this week. Just feel like that week off for Huntley, a backup quarterback needs repetition. I just feel like him being out a week or so, I just think he's going to look rusty, especially against that Rams defense. If it was against an easier matchup, I'm like, yeah, throw in Huntley, but not too confident in them, doing so well against that Rams defense. All that being said, I know Indianapolis is their front seven's tough. You can't run against them, but you can throw against them. So I probably would say Carr here.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Lou? I mean, Weston.
Yeah, so I'm going Huntley. Actually, I just that Lou just said it that Indianapolis front seven's tough. I know you got to like your chances of just trying to air it out, but in Indy, just a tough defense overall. One of the league's best. I know LA boasts the same, but I like in that game to be a little bit more of a shootout. Baltimore's got to get a W here. And even if they're getting pressure, Huntley's X factor are those legs, and look for him to get on the outside. And, I wouldn't be shocked if you're looking for some player prop bets. If there's an over under out there on his rushing yards, I'm liking him to 60 to 70 yards on the ground. And I think that's what separates him between Carr. So I'd actually roll Huntley.
Yeah, I am too. Actually, I agree with what both of you guys said. It's just I can't trust Derek Carr right now. I mean, he hasn't really gotten it done. I mean, last week I was so against Derek Carr that I started Josh Johnson over him. Oh wait, pat on the back, victory lap. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, right? Is I was gonna take the guy in the better offense, more suited to do things, and I understand he is facing the Rams, but in this case, when Lou asked it was Huntley or Trey Lance, I think that's easy. But when it's Huntley or Carr, I think I'm gonna roll Huntley here. Here we go. We got our first Trey Lance question. Aaron wants to know Trey Lance or Kyler Murray. I don't think you really overthink this one, Aaron. I think it's Kyler Murray still.
Yeah, I mean, midway through the season, we were talking about how this guy's MVP, right? Like he's still having a season, another must-win football game. I think if you can, don't let the stats fool you. I know Trayvon's out there balling and picking off what seems like every pass, but he's still giving up big plays too. This is going to be the Kyler Murray show. I agree. Don't overthink it. This should be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with both of you. The fact that Elijah Mitchell is also back, I feel like they could be a little cautious. Shanahan could be a little cautious with Trey Lance and maybe run the ball, with Lance and Mitchell, a nice 1-2 punch there, and trying to preserve, Trey Lance in regards to not having to do too much or put too much on his plate. So it might be a little more conservative game plan in that regards now that they have two of their running backs back. So I'm definitely going Kyler Murray here.
Love it. All right. Keith wants to know half point PPR, Deontay Johnson or Sony Michel at the flex. Woo, Sony Michel is an RB1 this week, man. I mean, he looks like the guy that everybody thought he was going to be coming right out of Georgia, right? Like, it's funny how that works, and he goes to a second team. I'm going to defer to Lou first. You give me your thoughts.
Love it, because on our show, on the We're Talking Football podcast, we talked about this, and Sony Michel was one of my guys this week. Look over the last 3 weeks what Matthew Stafford has done, Jason. The throwing output has decreased significantly over the last 3 weeks. You can start to tell that the Rams are trying to implement and change their philosophy to being a finesse passing team to more of a running team to try to get geared towards the playoffs. Definitely saying Sony Michel here and the flex over Deontay.
Yeah, I think the half point is what sways me, right? If this was a full point in Ben's probably final home game in Pittsburgh, I'd expect them to air it out a little bit more. But everything that Lou just said, the scales have tilted in LA, and this is a run-first football team right now, believe that or not. And Sony's been producing. It's hard to ignore that production, and being that it's half point, I'm going with the guy who I know is going to get the most touches, and that's going to be Sony Michel.
Man, this is so hard for me because I love Deontay Johnson, man, and I think that he's just a target hog, and I, he had an awful game last week, right? He had drop passes, Ben was awful, and he still came through for you. So it's hard, but yeah, Sony's been, Sony's going to win people some championships this week, so I think you roll Sony as well too. All right. Karan wants to know Michael Carter or Tony Pollard. Carter doesn't have exactly a great matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Pollard is facing the Arizona Cardinals. It depends on your format. If it's PPR, then I kind of feel like you can go Michael Carter because I feel like they're going to dial up some screen passes for him to kind of put that pass rush at bay with the Jets. I mean, I feel like the Bucks are going to run away with this one. It shouldn't really be too close, which basically means that the Jets are going to give them hell all the way through. But it depends on your format. If it's PPR, I think I lean Carter here just because Coleman's on COVID. Ty Johnson's not there as well too, so it's really just Michael Carter.
Yeah. So in our show earlier this week too, I called Tony Pollard's number. And I don't think actually either one of these is a bad play. And this is not to play the politician role on you. I'm going to come out and say that I'm going to play Pollard. And the reason why I think Pollard in this instance is I know Dallas has a formidable defense. Arizona has a formidable defense, but Arizona is a very fast defense. They're very speedy at linebacker at the skill positions. And I just feel like this is a Pollard game over a Zeke game, even in a timeshare, because Pollard's just more explosive. He's going to, if he gets through that into that second wave of defenders, look for some big plays out of him. So I'd err, depending upon format. I would still play Tony Pollard.
This is tough. Pollard's a better player, but Carter is going to probably get the more opportunities. It's just that there's so many mouths to feed in Dallas. You got Schultz, Lamb, Cooper, Zeke, Gallup. I mean, you're basically hoping Pollard can break a run of 20 plus. I'm going to say Carter. It's not going to look pretty, but I think he can get you a bunch of like garbage time points. And hey, there's still points too.
Absolutely. Well, I said Carter too.
No, I'm the lone wolf.
You are. Yeah, that's right. All right. Malachi, I hope I said that right. Mike Evans or Michael Pittman. Well, this is a battle of the mics, but I think you go Michael Pittman here just because we know that Mike Evans is going to be limited somewhat. But an interesting nugget, and I don't know if I'm going to be playing both sides here. Mike Evans needs 101 yards to continue his NFL record streak of seasons to start a career with 1,000 yards. So you can kind of bet that that's in the mind of Tom Brady. Like they tried to get him the record. They tried to get Brady the record. So you're thinking about that. But Pittman is going to be the every down guy and the number one guy. But I will say this too: Casey Hayward's back off of COVID, and he's been very good in coverage this year. Very good. And at least Wentz is there, but I'll lean Pittman. But the Evans thing is just like if you're looking for like a desperation play, I would lean more Evans.
Lou, you can go.
Anybody? Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna say Michael Pittman. I've said this a couple times on the show. I'm a big proponent of following Pro Football Doctor, and he said likelihood that Evans is going to be very limited, just like Schefter and Rappaport said. But what that basically means. When he kind of alluded that he might be out there only for situational passing downs, third downs, what have you. I'd rather have all Pittman than situational Mike Evans. And Jason brings up a great point with that 100 yards, but what's to say that they don't ease him in, get him 50 yards this week, and then maybe 50 yards next week?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going Pittman. I totally agree. Listen, these players want their incentives, and I'm sure there's a monetary value to him getting to that threshold outside of just the pride factor. But I got to go Pittman. I just think Tampa Bay's number one priority is to get to the playoffs and get there healthy, as healthy as they possibly can. So
healthy-ish.
Healthy-ish. And I just feel like, because of that, right? Like how limited is Evan's snap share going to be? How does he feel coming out of breaks? Pittman feels healthy. He's going to get the targets.
All right. Frank wants to know Ayuk or Penny. I'm trying to stay away from Brandon Ayuk this week, just because it's going to be a 40-run game, and then it's whatever the targets are going to be divvied up. Debo's going to get his. That Kittle's going to get his. I feel like Ayuk's going to be the guy that's left out in the cold this week. Rashad Penny he's actually playing very well for Seattle. So, I think I roll Penny here.
Yeah, I'd roll Penny too. Everything you just said, I feel like Ayuk is probably the fourth or fifth priority on the offense in this game. Now, with that being said, watch Shanahan come out and air that hoe out 45 times this game, because that's not what anybody expects. But I just think in pecking order, it's Kittle, it's Debo, but it's going to be Mitchell, it's going to be Wilson, it's going to be Lance on getting them outside, getting them on boots and sweeps. And Penny has been producing beyond anybody's expectations over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Hard to ignore that production.
Yeah, I'm going to follow suit here and say Penny too. For everything, I'm not going to reiterate everything what you guys said, but it's exactly my same sentiment though. So yeah, Rashad Penny.
All right, Axel wants to know Guyton, Zay Jones, or McKenzie. Man, you're really
digging deep. These are deep.
Yeah, you're digging deep here. Zay Jones, I think. McKenzie, you really can't rely on him right now because Gabe Davis is back. So is Beasley. If you were going to play McKenzie, it was because those guys were going to be on the COVID list. I know Emmanuel Sanders is not there today, but his sleeper appeal is kind of gone. Guyton, Mike Williams is back. Eckler's back.
Mm-hmm.
I that kind of zaps that. With Zay Jones, it's really like that's the one of the three that I probably feel best about. But these are some deep options, man. What do you guys think? Start with Lou.
Yeah. Listen, don't go chasing the points with McKenzie. Going into last week, he had 7 catches, I believe, all year. And he did fantastic last week, but that's more about opportunity as opposed to, his natural ability. So you said it right, but Beasley's back, and there's going to take a lot of targets away from him. Guyton, you're hoping for a bomb for a touchdown against a Denver defense that's always been stymied against the Chargers. So I'm crossing him out. And yeah, I would say exactly agree with you, Jason, there. Zay Jones is the pick for me by default.
Yeah, I think Guyton and McKenzie's teams are getting healthier, so they fall down the pecking order, getting some people back. Zay Jones has been rather consistent over the last 4 or 5 weeks, right? Like somewhere between 5 and 7 catches, maybe 50 and 75 yards. He finds the end zone plus, but of these three, for me, it's Zay, and I hope this is like to avoid the license plate bracket versus the ship, because these are some deep options you got to go digging for.
All right, Kaz wants to know Claypool, St. Brown, Cooks, which two? I think it's St. Brown and Cooks, and I don't even really think you really think too hard about it. Amon-Ra's been incredible. I understand DeAndre Swift is back today, but he's still the guy. And he got it done last week with Tim Boyle as well. And Brandon Cooks, I think, is going to have a good game against our 49ers. It just doesn't mean that they're going to win, though.
Same. I have nothing else to add to that. The same.
I concur.
Nice. We're moving. Ajay, Jason, do I put the chip in the hands of my boy Trey Lance? It depends on your options. I mean, there's only probably 11 other guys that I would start over Trey Lance this week, and they're the usual suspects, like Herbert, Mahomes, Dak, Murray, Burrow,
Rodgers.
Hurts, Rodgers, Taysom Hill. Like those guys, you'd have to, if it's between like Trey Lance and Tyler Huntley, then it's Lance. If it's between like Trey Lance and Carr or Matt Ryan or Andy Dalton, then it's easier. Like if it's those top end guys, don't overthink it too much. But if it's one of those other guys, if you're looking for a boom play, right? Like if you're looking at your opponent and you're like, man, I need to swing for the fences, then it's Trey. But if it's one of those other usual suspect guys, I don't really want to take that risk at this point.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think of it like this with Trey Lance. What do I feel like he's going to actually output? And I think he's between 250 and 270 total yards, 2 touchdowns. And I'm being very conservative when I'm saying this, by the way, guys. 2 touchdowns and 2 turnovers. So if you do the points and you feel comfortable with that conservative number and that output, then throw him in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Madison wants to know, Antonio Brown or Deontay Johnson in PPR. Antonio Brown kind of tweaked his ankle this week. Mike Evans will be back a little bit, but still, Brown is still the man, right? And Deontay is just, I don't know how you bench Deontay Johnson. Can you play both, Paul? Why can't you play both? I mean, you really have to have a stacked team right now if you can't play both of them, because I would love to. I mean, the only thing that I would say about this is that the Bucs may win that game like 41-0 on the back of like Ronald Jones, and the Jets are just awful on the ground. But, I mean, it depends. I would love to play both. What do you guys think?
I mean, if you can play both, I'd find a way. I'd love to know who else you got out there, Paul. But for me, this is Deontay. I just look at the potential game flow, and I think the Bucs win this game handedly. I think they're going to run the ball. I think they're going to look to get out of New York healthy as they possibly can. And when I see like an AFC North battle on Monday Night Football and Ben's
last game,
yeah, like – this just reeks of Deontay Johnson going for $1.50, 2 tutties. That's just kind of what my gut tells me.
From your mouth to God's ears. Go for it, Lou.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you said about Antonio Brown in that game flow with the Jets. I don't know how much work he's really going to get for the mere fact they're going to run it a lot, maybe utilize their tight end sets more because they're banged up at the wide receiver position. So I'm definitely going Deontay Johnson for the same thing, the nostalgia of Big Ben's last game in Pittsburgh, and I think he'll get way more opportunities. Even though that Cleveland defense is tough, I'm still rolling out Deontay Johnson.
Yep, I agree. Malachi, do I put in Mike Evans? Depends on your options, but I think we kind of laid it out. Like, you have to be pretty desperate, and you have to kind of just hope for like 50 and a tug. If you get that, then you're fine. Like, I think you'll be okay with that, But again, you just got to temper your expectations because he's not going to be out there much. Sean, mahalo, my brothers. Waking up at 6:30 on a Sunday morning is so worth it. God bless you guys. Have a great new year. Appreciate the kind words, Sean. Appreciate you always tapping in, man. Happy New Year to you too, man. Vader Joe, here we go. Ronald Jones, Elijah Mitchell, Scary Terry, Darrell Williams, Russell Gage. All right, we're taking Russell Gage out of here.
Yeah.
If you're picking 2, Jones and Darrell Williams for me. And I love Elijah Mitchell, but again, I don't know how much he's going to get. Jeff Wilson has been playing much better. I don't think it goes right back to Elijah Mitchell getting 30. Ronald Jones is going to be fine this week against that Jets defense. And Darrell Williams is probably going to be in the shootout with the Cincinnati Bengals, and he is the guy right now because CEH is out.
Lou, go ahead.
Yeah. The issue with that is that the Bengals play the running game pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's less about that and more that he catches passes out of the backfield a ton, right? Like, and this is PPR. Darrell's a target hog now, especially without like when CH was in there, he still was catching passes. I just can't imagine now.
It's definitely Jones. I agree with you there.
I
think I'm getting caught up on the name McLaurin versus Darrell Williams because I love him as a player. But I'll go with you with Darrell Williams for the fact that you're right. He does catch a lot out there. You can't expect him a lot on the running game, though. You got a lot of dump offs there, I would say. So, yeah, I would say with CEH out, yeah, throw him Williams.
Yeah. So Jones is a definitive for me. If I've learned anything over the last 33 years of my life watching the NFL is that every time we predict a game to be a shootout, it tends to not be a shootout. So on paper, I think the Williams play feels good, but I disagree a little bit with you, Jason. I find us going back heavy to Mitchell. It's hard to ignore his production when he's on the field. Lou's going to mock me, but the 49ers absolutely positively have to win today. And to do that, I think they're just getting it is must win, right? Like you got to go beat up on this competition at home, with playoffs on the line. And I just feel like, they held Mitchell out for that extra week last week when he was probably borderline. I know he still carries that questionable tag, but in week 17 of the NFL season, who doesn't carry a questionable tag if they play consistently?
We're all questionable.
Yeah, I mean, I was questionable today. Like it's just what it comes down to. So I'm going Jones and Mitchell in this one.
Cool. I like it. Isaac wants to know Brashad Perriman revenge game against the Jets. Or Terry McLaurin, who's going to be up against Darius Slay, was quietly been locked down, man. And this hurts me the most because you know how I feel about Terry McLaurin. I'll start with you, Lou.
Okay. This is tough. Yeah. I love me some revenge games. I do. I'm all about throwing those revenge games in. But like I said before, I love McLaurin. And what my trepidation is because of Darius Slay guarding him. I'll say McLaurin just because I'd rather play the better player and fail with the better player as opposed to the lesser player. Yeah.
And that's a hero play right there. Like, it's a good sentiment. I get it. But then we just literally talked about how much of the Bucs going to have to throw, right? And then that means that you're hoping that he bypasses Gronk and AB and Mike Evans and Ronald Jones. I don't know about that
too.
Right, yeah. So, yeah.
I think it comes down to target share, right? And we just talked about it, and game flow is going to look different. If this was like midway through the season, I'd probably lean towards Perriman because I just don't trust the quarterback play in Washington. And I love Terry. I love him so much. I rate him in my top 10 wide receivers to start this NFL season. I think the world of this man, but it takes two to tango. It takes quarterback to get there. But I do actually agree with Lou's sentiment, right? Like, I think in this scenario, you got to play the name because, what's Perriman going to get you 5 to 7 points? Like, you got to feel like McLaurin can do more than that for you.
Yeah, I like it. And, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like right now, you can take chances in the middle of the season. And if it doesn't work out, you're just like, whatever. But at this point, I think you got to take the safer bet in terms of the player, right? If it was a closer, like let's say if this was like McLaurin and like Mooney, then I might say, all right, man, I don't know. You might have to go Mooney here because he's the only guy in town and Dalton's going to throw that thing. But when it comes down to McLaurin and like Perriman is like the hero play. If you nail it, then man, you need a parade down the street. But if you don't, and you look at Terry McLaurin and he ends up with more points and things like that, that's the stuff I can't really deal with. Yeah. So I mean, exactly. Good luck, Isaac. Mr. Olite, Herbert or Burrow, man. Where's Exo so he can ask us Burrow or Russ again? Because he asked us last week and we were like Burrow again, bro. 535 yards later, you're welcome, pal. Herbert or Burrow? I'll start with the Chargers guy. Lou, what are you thinking here, man? Oh, man, Herbert against Denver?
In real life football, it's Herbert. But in fantasy football, especially for this week, I'm definitely saying Burrow. We talked about it. The Seahawks are your the thorn in your guy's side. They are, for lack of a better word, your big brother. They always find a way to beat you. Guess what? The Broncos are our Seahawks. They're tough on them because they're built to beat the Chargers. Their secondary is phenomenal. I know they have a bunch of guys out for COVID, but I still feel like Fangio does a great job of dialing up blitzes and also cover two, which throws Herbert up for fits. So I'm definitely saying Burrow here.
Okay. Joe Burrow's wearing a shirt with all of his wide receivers on it. Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. So adjust your rankings also. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I'll say Herbert now. Okay.
Go ahead, Weston.
Yeah, it's Burrow too. If this is the supposed shootout, it's supposed to be. You got to like the opportunities. Lou and I covered this kind of like extensively earlier this week, how Denver is built to compete against that division, who loves to air the football out. I think Fangio, while might not be the best head coach in the world, is still a tremendous D coordinator, defensive coach. Like his mind is, and he's gonna make this a difficult game and muddy waters for Herbert, which pains me because do I start Herbert or I start Trey Lance? And I got to go with the guy that got me there. So I got to go with Herbert. But in this scenario, to me, it's Burrow.
Yeah, I think it's Burrow too. I want a piece of that game. Like if you have Bengals and you have Chiefs, I want a piece of it. Like I think that it's going to be the biggest game. And I mean, when you look at the implied point total, that Vegas thinks it's going to be a shootout as well too. So, all right, Joey, shout out to Joey, man. Christian Kirk or DJ Moore. Oh, I love DJ Moore, dude. But Sam Darnold starting today. I don't know. This one's tough, man. Christian Kirk, I think that game is going to be a little bit of a shootout as well, too. Arizona against Dallas. It doesn't seem like Trevon Diggs is going to be, well, is he going to follow him or is he going to follow AJ Green? Like, that's the stuff that I guess we don't know. I'm going to say Kirk for upside. God, I hate that I just said that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kirk as well. And I really honestly don't think it's that close in this scenario because I have zero faith in what Sam Darnold's going to do with that offense. Although
it's close because I love DJ Moore. That's
it is your love for him. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But and it's a shame to say this because in a game that we absolutely need Carolina to show up and need DJ Moore to go ahead and ball out and be part of that. But to me, it's Kirk, and I don't think Diggs follows him. I think Diggs is going to stay on the outside. Probably going to follow AJ Green around. Kirk, you can line up in the slot. You can put them all over the field. They're going to get creative. They need offense. I actually think Kirk's going to have a big game. So nice. I'm going to say Christian Kirk.
There you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about Diggs following Kirk. Diggs gets his interceptions, but Weston alluded to before, he does give up a tremendous amount. They go over like 700 receiving yards this year, Diggs. So he's a gambler. All that being said, you can't go anyone on the Panthers on your championship, your weekend for the mere fact that organization, especially this past week, is in turmoil. They don't know who's starting at quarterback. I know they just threw Sam Darnold in there, but will Cam, show up? Now they're saying they have buyer's remorse with the head coach. I just don't think I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that in a fantasy football championship. Doubting your head coach in year 2 of a 6-year deal. So definitely give me Christian Kirk. I think he can go up pop a long one off.
That sucks, man, because Matt Rule, when we went to the Senior Bowl last year, I was like, man, that's a great coach. He seems like a good guy. And then he's like in press conferences talking about, well, it took Jay-Z 7 years to get on. He's a rapper. He's not a head coach. That doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah,
that one did not land for me, especially as a Jay-Z fan. I was like, that did not land for me. Jay-Z had to sell drugs to get where he was. Like, this is not the same thing at all.
Well, he had to coach Baylor.
Right?
I guess they were both slanging rock on the side when all
Oh my God, man. What a crazy year. It's so funny because at the beginning of the year, I would have said, man, Matt Rule is and Flores, they're two of the brightest, head coaches. Flores doesn't start so well. Matt Rule starts pretty well in the beginning, and you're like, there it is. And then they just completely went the other way, so strange. All right, let's get to this a little bit faster because Daddy's got to run to the liquor store because he needs to drink all day today because he's going to be nervous. Jay wants to know, DJ Moore, Hollywood or Sony? I think it's Sony. Don't overthink this one. Sony Michel's been killing it. He's going to win people championships this
Sony.
Week.
Yeah, Sony.
Yeah, gotta go Sony.
All right, perfect. Afix 22, Mitchell, St. Brown, or Michelle. Sony Michel, man. Sony Michel's a top 10 back this week, man. You got to have a Joe Mixon or an Eckler or a Dalvin or something like that. Otherwise, you're starting Sony. No way.
Yep.
This one's closer for me. For the mirror, I know Michelle. I've been pounding the table for Michelle. They're going against the Ravens defense, though. They're pretty stout against the run. So I'm between him and St. Brown, but I will stick to my guns here and what I've said before and say Michelle.
Yep. All right. Shout out to Amin the Dream. He's in here. Trey Lance or Kyler Murray. We talked about this. It's Kyler, man. Just stick with Kyler at this point. I know you want to, but I think it's Kyler.
Agreed.
Yep. Okay. Brunel wants to know, should I start Jared Patterson over Scary Terry in the standard league? Antonio Gibson is out in this game, and Jared Patterson is going to be lead back. So I understand that sentiment. So do you think Jared Patterson can get in the end zone? I don't think that that's such a crazy thing, right? I don't. But, man, is that risky. What do you think, Lou?
I'm thinking I'm going Terry.
Okay.
Like I said, I know Patterson's supposed to be the starter, but how many times have we seen that before? And they go running back by committee. I know. I just don't feel comfortable throwing Patterson over Terry McLaurin. This is a gut feeling from an analytical guy. This is my gut feeling, so I don't know how good that's going to be, though.
No, I'm going Patterson here. I think in these scenarios, I gotta trust the running back. I know you mentioned, hey, they end up going by committee, but there really is no committee in Washington right now
really
based on
left.
who's out. So I feel like this guy, even if he gets 15 touches, that's certainly more than the targets that Terry's going to get in this particular game. So I think in this scenario in the standard league, I got to go to the running back.
And he'll probably get the goal line work. Look, so yeah, we'll go Jarrett here, I think, too. You lone wolf in this one, Lou.
Ooh.
All right. Vernon wants to know Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, Devontae Booker. Jordan Howard, probably. Ooh.
He's banged up with the stinger.
Is it Boston Scott then? Because no Miles Sanders this week.
That's right. Whoever's healthier out there in Philly, I would say. So if Boston
not Devontae Booker.
Yeah, I didn't even look. Yeah, not against Chicago's defense. For me, whoever's just healthier, I'll probably say Boston Scott. I know Jordan Howard's looked good here and there, but he brings absolutely nothing to the passing to the receiving table there. And Boston Scott, they've always implemented him when Sanders. Him. Yeah, they really do. So he's not going away. I was going to make an inappropriate joke, but I will refrain. So I will say Boston Scott.
Yeah, I'm saying Boston Scott as well. He just seems to find the end zone, even down at the goal line, which is like an anomaly because he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, right? But he's elusive. He finds the end zone. I'm saying Boston Scott.
Yeah, I'll go Boston Scott. You got me. All right. Axel wants to know Noah Fant or Derek Gore in the flex. I like this one a lot too. This one kind of scares me a little bit, the Derek Gore thing, because I am playing Darrell Williams in multiple championships. But something about Derek Gore is like when they get to the goal line, all right, get him in there so he can run in the touchdown, right? So, I think that's kind of what you're banking on. I'm not about to sit here and try to bank on Noah Fant right now, even though that Drew Lock is starting. Denver against, who did we just say? Oh, well, let's see. Chargers. How do they do against opposing tight ends? Jerry Jeudy's on COVID.
Yep, I get that. But you got Locke starting first and foremost, and now you got Derwin James coming back today, Nazir Adderley coming back today. So their safeties are finally back after a 2-week hiatus, fully healthy, which usually means they will be put on Fant. And then I know Gore did good last week, but that was out without Kelsey. Give me Gore. Like I said, I had a little hesitation with Williams because of Gore. So if my instinct was right, Gore is going to have a touch. Like I say, he's going to punch it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, Gore's the guy I'm thinking too. Go ahead,
yeah, Gore here too. I just have zero faith in Noah Fant right now, that offense. And I just I don't know, every time I see that name Gore, I just can't help but get excited. I feel like
he runs hard.
Yeah, he's a bulldozer, dude, and he runs pretty similar to the Gore that we all know. And I like Derek Gore. I think he's going to get more touches than most people think in regular game flow, not just goal line. I like Derek Gore in this.
I'm sure our everyone who's tuning in love the fact that we're going with gut instincts right now. It's going to make them feel real comfortable knowing to throw Gore in there.
Hey, that's it, man. Trust in the gut, man. Yep. I mean, my gut's full of what I had last night, and it's going to get out in a little while or whatever. But yeah, but we're all talking about Darrell Williams and Derek Gore, and this seems like the perfect opportunity for Jerick McKinnon to steal everybody. Yeah, just to steal it from everybody. So, Amin wants to know Huntley or Zach Wilson. We're rolling Huntley here. I cannot trust Zach Wilson. Can't do it. Even though he had that nice long touchdown, that saved his day though last week.
Yeah, it's still Huntley. It's still Huntley.
Yeah. All right. Karthik with, hey guys, what's up? Dallas Goedert or Zach Ertz? Oh.
So I pounded the table last week for Goddard because of the rapport that's being built, the targets he was getting. And, no D-Hop now. Zach Ertz, no D-Hop for a while. Zach Ertz has he's been resurrected out in Arizona. But in this game, I'm still going back to Goddard. I just think, he is the number one target in Philly for that passing game. And again, no Miles Sanders, so maybe the lightens the running game a little bit. So I'm going Goddard.
Yeah, I think Weston, you hit the nail on the head there. It's Goddard for the fact that Miles Sanders is not going to be touching the ball 17 to 20 times this game. So I don't feel like Howard's going to. I don't feel like Boston Scott is going to. So I feel like Goddard is your best bet versus Zach Ertz.
Man, he was wide open. All Jalen Hurts had to do is look his way for a touchdown. Like, and good on Dallas Goedert for not throwing his hands up in the air and being like, "What the hell, man?" Because he was standing by. It was him in the pylon.
Yeah.
But I think you roll Goddard here as well too. But Zach, this is a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hedge. I'm gonna hedge here. This is a flip of the coin. You feel good either way. And Zach Ertz has been involved a lot more. So. Max Hunt, pick 2, Cordero, Edmonds, Renfro. Atlanta against
the Bills.
Buffalo.
Ooh, Edmonds and Renfro.
Yeah, I'm the same. I love Cordero Patterson.
And Cordero probably got you here too.
Yes, and that's a tough play, but he's fallen off a cliff the last few weeks. And we talked about this offline real quick when I was giving you my own scenario, and no James Conner, right? That bolsters for Edmonds, and there's just no scenario in a championship week. You can sit Hunter Renfro because he's a target machine. So it's Chase Edmonds, it's Hunter Renfro. That's who you got to go with.
This is when you a prime example when you don't fall in love with the name Patterson. If you picked him up this year, he got you here. Look the last couple of weeks and how they're utilizing him. He's not doing what he did earlier on this year. Maybe it's lack of steam left, nothing left in the tank or what have you. I don't know. Definitely saying Edmonds and Renfro here.
Yep, I agree. All right. Karthik, Renfro, Antonio Brown because Evans is healthy again. He's not really healthy. Nah, I think that is Antonio Brown. Evans is going to be on a snap count as reported by Schefter and Rappaport.
Yeah. I'm torn here because Renfro's target monster, and I'm not sure what game flow is going to say for Antonio, but I think Antonio finds the end zone and Hunter probably doesn't, and that's what would tilt the scales for me for Antonio Brown.
Woo! I will go Renfro here for the main fact that I don't know.
That was Ric Flair more than it was.
But it was a valiant effort compared to his last one.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely going Renfro here. Like you said, I don't know what this game flow is going to be like out Tampa versus the Jets. If that's just going to be like a grind out, like running game type of situation in the tight ends. They're going to have to throw against the Colts because they're not going to be able to run against the Raiders. Are going to have to throw against the Colts. They're not going to be able to run against them. So I'm definitely saying Renfro here.
Okay. Ghostly man, Saquon or Edmonds? Saquon's a name. You got to play Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, Saquon is just nothing but a name.
I can't believe it. This is where we are in the world.
I know.
And Connor's out, so that's why you're rolling Edmonds.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Axel, 14-man league. That's why. Okay. That makes sense. Remember those options he had? 14-man league? That absolutely makes sense, man.
Deep.
I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but the weather and no Cousins is scaring me. Hurts or Rodgers? Ooh. I think it's Jalen Hurts. You can't do it.
I can't. I am never worried about the weather when it comes to Aaron Rodgers and that chemistry with him and Devontae. I can't not play Aaron Rodgers in my fantasy championship. If you were in the championship, it has to be Aaron Rodgers.
So I had a similar situation like this a couple of years back. It was Drew Brees or same scenario or someone else. And I went someone else and I wasn't happy that day. You gotta go with the Aaron Rodgers. He's built for that weather if the weather's bad. If anything, if it's snowing, it leans favor towards the offense. They're the ones knowing the plays.
Yeah.
Receivers, know when to break off. So I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers here.
All right. Aaron Rodgers. Let's not get crazy. You're right.
I wanted to hear your lone wolf.
No, man. Boston Scott. I think we kind of talked about it. I think it's just going to be Boston Scott. AJ Green or Ayuk. I see the Jason. Yeah, I told you I had it. I just wasn't going to go in the room and mess with Averly. Man. I don't like either of these.
I don't.
AJ Green is kind of falling off, and I just feel like Brandon Ayuk is not going to get much work today. What do you guys think?
I'm going to say, oh my God.
Want me to go first?
Yeah,
I'll be the first guy to get this wrong.
Okay.
I'll say AJ Green. I just don't like the game flow. Why are they going to have to pass so much against the Texans? Why? They have their second.
They're not.
They're not. So. What does that mean? If they are going to pass, you don't think he's going to go to Kittle? You don't think he's going to go to Debo, like the guy he feels probably comfortable with? Don't love it. I'm going AJ Green here.
I don't love it either, but I have to go AJ as well, just on opportunity. He's gonna get a couple deep
Shootout.
balls. Yeah, what's he gonna do? So I'll go AJ Green here.
Yeah, shootout. Jesus. Bruce Arians ruptured his Achilles. Oh my goodness, man. What the hell's going on? Everybody's banged up.
Isn't he on COVID too?
He got off. He passed it. He passed it. So.
How's he get hurt on his day off?
All right. I can't play both those guys because I have Debo and Devontae starting. So that's the Antonio Brown question. You know, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and Deontay. Yeah. Ooh, man. All right. Jeez Louise.
All right. Marquise Brown, Mike Evans, or Brandon Ayuk. I think it's Hollywood.
Oh my God.
I know.
These are getting hard.
Yeah. We've only got 20 minutes to kick off.
Yeah, I'm going to say Hollywood. I'm going Hollywood. I don't want to say it, but I think that's
of
what
these
my
three.
gut tells me,
of these, it's not that we love Hollywood as a play. It's just from these options, it's the only one I can really think of. I mean, this is going to be the Mark Andrews show again.
Yeah. I'm going. You guys are like talking yourself out of it already after you said it. I'm going to say Mike Evans, hoping the fact that hey, maybe we're wrong and maybe they do try again that 100 yards and try to sit him next week or something.
Right. Get it to him now so they can bench him.
Of these three, I'm saying Mike Evans.
That's not a bad sentiment. Yeah. No. All right. Well, goodness gracious. My stomach hurts now because now I'm going to be sitting there like, yo, I told that man Marquise Brown.
I know.
Like, this is what you guys don't understand. Like, when we make picks for you guys, like, I don't care about my own team anymore because they're already locked and set. Like, I don't care anymore. I start to think, oh, man, I told that guy this. And, like, this is the championship now. Like, I'm so nervous now.
We have a side chat, just so you guys all know, between the three of us, where we take our L's, we definitely take our W's, but we lose sleep over what we tell you here in this 40-minute window.
And it's only because we care, man. Yeah. It's only because we care. Should I really consider to sit Pitts and Scary Terry? I don't know. It depends on your options.
Yeah,
you gotta let us know. Are we feeling Foreman or Carter full PPR? I'm saying Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
Okay. Over, under, Lance 2 TD runs. Under. I think he gets 1.
Push.
Ooh. 2. I'd love that.
Push.
Pick 2. Josh Jacobs, Ronald Jones, Sony Michel.
Oh, this is a layup.
Sony and Ronald.
Yeah.
Sony and Ronald.
Yeah.
I have all these players, and right. I know Josh Jacobs will get you like 12, 15 points, but I don't know against this Colts front seven.
Yeah, Jones and Michelle.
All right, Matt, over, under, DJ Moore, 100, under. If that's a prop, it's under.
Way under.
I'm smashing that, yeah. I'm starting Trey over Russ today. I don't blame you.
As you should.
XO, you're welcome, buddy. Burrow over Russ all day, man. Karthik, Mahomes or Stafford? Mahomes. Don't overthink it, bro. Yeah. All right. Brady or Dak at QB? Dak.
Yeah.
Sony or Cordero? Sony.
I don't care what Patterson it is. It's Sony.
Right. Mr. Olay, thanks, gentlemen. Thank you for the donation. Go Niners. Absolutely. Bay Area baller, pick 2, Lockett, Cooks, Cooper. Cooks is in.
Cooks is 100% in.
I think Cooks is in.
I'm going to go Lockett.
I think I'm going to go Lockett too, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lockett. Russ's final home game in Seattle, the first time they've ever been eliminated from the playoffs in his stint there. I just feel like a little chip on the shoulder. They want to go out with a bang, and Lockett's got to be part of that.
I will follow in peer pressure and say Cooks and Lockett as well.
Okay. Dolphins defense or Packers? Packers defense against Sean Mannion. Packers.
Yep.
Matt Hunt, PPR championship. Devontae Adams and Debo for my flex. Antonio or AJ Brown? I think if it's either of those, it's still Brown over the other two.
Yeah, Brown, whichever Brown it is over the other two for sure. Unless that's a Brown, unless that's a Amon St. Brown, I'd go Lockett in that scenario. But if it's AJ Brown, Antonio Brown, that's the pick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, standard scoring, pick 1. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Williams, Mike Evans. I think Amon-Ra.
Yeah,
he's balling.
Yeah, playing very well. Lance or Dak? Hurts me to say it, but it's going to be Dak.
It's Dak.
Yeah, it's definitely Dak.
Okay. Pick 2, half-point PPR, Rojo, Zeke, Michelle. I can't believe we're going to bench Zeke in this scenario. Unbelievable. I can't even believe that's what's like where we're at.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. Zeke's on the bench.
And I'm just agreeing with you guys. Yeah.
All right. Ben, YouTuber. AB, Amon-Ra, Zeke, Kamara, full point PPR. AB and Kamara.
Yeah.
Still, I can't bench him. I can't.
You can't bench Alvin Kamara in your championship.
Yeah,
If this is championship week, you can't.
Ian Book's not starting this week either.
No, and this is against Carolina, who's floundering. This is a Kamara game written all over it. AB and Kamara for me.
Definitely Kamara, and I'm saying Amon.
Okay.
He's been one top 7 receiver over the last 4 or 5 weeks. This is not a trend. It's not like the last 2 weeks. And I don't love Seattle's pass defense, so I'm gonna say St. Brown there.
Okay. Daniel pick 2 PPR. Swift, CD, Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny, Javonte. Appreciate it. Well, I think you're gonna go Swift because it's all systems go with that, and Tim Boyle, they're just gonna dump that off to him, and then I think you go Ronald Jones, man. I'm gonna lean the running backs here, man. Ronald Jones is in too big of a spot right here to bench him at this point, I think.
Yeah, I'm leaning the running backs as well. Mine are just going to look a little different. I'm saying Rashad Penny and Ronald Jones. I just think, Penny's been a monster these last few weeks. Finding the end zone too. Swift's first action back. I'm a little hesitant there. I agree with you. Dump off in the PPR. But I'm going to go Penny and Ronald Jones in this one.
I'm going to go with Ronald Jones and Swift, just like Jason did. But, I don't think you're losing sleep over any of these. I think all these choices are pretty good.
Yeah, Javonte's in a smash spot too, even if he splits or whatever, because of who they're facing on run defense. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. What? No. Well, I'm very self-aware.
Yeah, Rex Burkhead was Gale Sayers last week.
I'd rather not go down that. That's the past. Let's focus on the future.
Lou called him Arian Foster in our show.
I thought it was at first.
Let's move. We got 14 minutes. Let's go. So Darrell Williams, Swift, Amon-Ra, Penny, Cooks, full PPR. I think you're gonna go Darrell, Amon-Ra, and Cooks.
I'm going Darrell. Darrell, Cooks, Penny.
Okay.
I will go Cooks, Amon-Ra. Let me get Penny.
All right. Bay Area
we totally messed with that guy's head, by the way.
Yeah, we did. I know. We gave him nothing. It's Edmonds, no Connor.
Yeah.
Roll Edmonds, man. Yeah, not even thinking about it. Standard score, pick 1. Amon-Ra. Damn, so many Amon-Ra questions. Amon-Ra, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams. Pick 1. Thanks, guys. Love the content. Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Amon-Ra.
Just because Pittman's going to get Casey Hayward, and who knows what Mike Williams is going to be on. And again, I don't really like the again, it might be game flow for the Lions. I understand it's not going to be Goff, and that doesn't really matter. He got it done last week without him. I told you I had it, bro. I told you I had it. I told you, man. Told you I had it. All right. Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell, Rashad Penny. Oh.
Ooh.
Penny,
I think, too, actually. No. Elijah. Let's roll.
Okay. Roll. I'm going Penny because Wilson and Mitchell kind of almost cancel each other out. I feel like they can't sit Wilson.
No. He's been playing well.
So I'm going to say Penny.
All right.
Penny.
Let's roll because we're behind here on questions. All right. Brady or Trey Lance? Oh, man. We just talked about game flow and how things are going to go in that game.
If you're in the championship, it's impossible to sit Tom Brady. It's impossible to sit Tom Brady. But game flow says this is Trey Lance, and I'm saying Trey Lance.
Yeah, I'm here for all this right now. I'm saying Trey Lance too.
I think so too, man. I just don't think that Brady's gonna have to throw the ball much. This is gonna be a big Ronald Jones game. He may throw 2 tugs, but it's not gonna be more than what Trey Lance puts up, I think, this week, especially with the rushing floor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nick, full PPR, pick 2. Russell Gage, Devontae Parker, Devontae Smith, Gage and Smith.
Yep.
I can't mess around with Parker.
Yeah, no.
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase for the flex. Jefferson, even still. These
are your flexes?
Yeah, right? It's
closer.
It's closer, but come on, man. You still have to play Justin Jefferson. You got here with him, and they're still going to have a game plan to get him the ball. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm starting him. I can't do it.
I'm saying no. I'm saying Chase, by the way, because I don't like Sean Mannion throwing Justin Jefferson the ball. So
NFL quarter. They're all NFL quarterbacks. It's still Justin.
Really?
Jefferson.
Ian Book was an NFL quarterback too.
Man, he just got here.
No, he wasn't.
He
wasn't. I promise you, he wasn't, man. In Mobile, a lot of jokes were made in Mobile.
Chase here.
All right, Matt, Deontay or Sony at the flex, full PPR. Christ.
So we had this.
You said if it was full PPR.
I said if it was full PPR, it's Deontay, and I'm sticking with what I said earlier, and it's Deontay.
I think it's Deontay. This is like the old man Gran Torino, Ben Roethlisberger last game, like get off my lawn type shit. All right,
you guys.
Dallas or Green Bay? Green Bay. It is Antonio. Okay. Buffalo's defense or the Colts? Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah. All right. Devonta Smith, Ayuk, McLaurin. Devontae, I think.
Devonta, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pitts, Kmet, Bates. McLaurin, Gabriel Davis, or MVS? Pitts and Terry.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Pitts and Terry, yeah.
Everett or Hunter Henry, half-point PPR.
This is good. This is a good one.
I'm going Everett here. And I'm playing Everett. So
okay, that's why. I'm going Hunter Henry, actually. Leads all tight ends with touchdowns, man. If he gets one of those, then you're golden. Mac Jones loves him down there. So,
and I'll probably go Everett because I'm worried about that game flow versus Jacksonville.
Yeah. Woo! No lone wolf. It's just that. All right. Swift or Aaron Jones, PPR. Oh, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, they're going to lead in the run.
Yeah, I say Aaron Jones too because Swift's coming back for the first week. You don't know what you're going to get.
I'm saying Swift. It's still a two-headed monster up there. If it's some bad weather, expect a little bit of a heavy ground and pound. I'm going to say DeAndre Swift here.
All right, let's roll. We got 9 minutes. Michael Carter, Chris Edmonds, or Sony Michel? Sony.
I love our name games. We could play so many of these that we have to carry into next year. I'm going to say Sony as well, though.
Sony.
All right. Yeah, I know you're playing Trey, Jesse. I know you're playing Trey, buddy.
Oh, Jesse, what up?
You've been waiting for this moment all year, man.
Yes,
and I hear you, bro. That's it. I'm starting him too with Taysom Hill. Give me that rushing floor in my super flex league. So, and then Swift or Mitchell. Mitchell.
I'm gonna say Swift.
I'm gonna say Swift too, because like I said, you can't bench Wilson.
Okay. New Orleans or Dallas defense? New Orleans against Carolina.
Oh, New Orleans.
Yeah. All right. 8 minutes left. We're gonna end it here. We'll take any last minute questions real quick, but thank you guys for doing this with me, and I can't wait to do future shows in the off season where we'll focus a little bit more on dynasty stuff, especially when we get back from the Senior Bowl and everything. We'll have an idea, hey, where I'd love this guy to go fit and where that lines up. So, if you guys are here and you're new, whatever, if you're not, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. No more fantasy start-sit shows. This is the last one of the year. Weston and Lou. Yeah, I know, man. Weston and Lou, thank you guys for joining me for this. It's been a lot of fun. And let everybody know where they can subscribe to your content.
Yeah. I always let Lou do that, but I just, Jason, on behalf of both of us, thank you so much for lending us your platform. It's been so much fun. Thank you to your audience for tuning in. Great questions, great engagement, and really looking forward to doing all of this, off season.
Hold on.
Let's help my boy out real quick. Renfro or Lockett? Mitchell, pick 2. Renfro and Lockett.
Yeah.
Renfro and Lockett for me too. Yep.
And then one more. Kittle or Kelsey? Both of them.
If you can only go one, I think you have to go Kelsey this week.
I think so too. God.
I agree.
God help us.
Yes, please.
And if it's Cordero or Elijah, then it's Elijah. That's it. We gotta go. Gotta
go. Everybody's gotta go. Jason's gotta hit the store. Lou, tell them where they can find us. Jason, thank you again so much for everything.
Real quick, Instagram, Twitter at WTF Pod NFL. Thanks so much, guys, for this experience. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, and we'll be talking with you. Go get those chips. Enjoy the games and enjoy fantasy football for the last week. And if not, then pivot next week to prop betting and DFS because the season will still continue. But and as always, go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Bolts.
Okay. Go Chargers. Go Chargers. Go
Chargers.
Welcome everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.